Hey, Timothy Unkert here. In this video, I just want to talk a little bit about my Vim config. It's a Sunday morning, and I woke up, and I've been meaning to kind of work on some blogs and so on and so forth. And I've also been doing some front end stuff. And on top of that, I've been thinking about doing a beginner Vim tutorial course on my YouTube channel for people who are new to Vim. So I decided to go take a look at Vim and get us set up. And was actually watching some other YouTube videos about color themes, and I got weird about that. But anyway, so here's my Vimrc that I set up this morning. So let's go through it. I'll talk about it a little bit. So we've got syntax on. So you want syntax highlighting. The next thing we have is set no compatible, which with Vim plug, depending on what I read, it's not necessarily necessary, but it's kind of like a safeguard. Then file type plugin indent on. Right now I have set tab stop equal 4, soft tab stop equal 4, and shift width equal 4, but not expand tabs. So I should be getting just tabs. Now I'm doing this because I'm trying to optimize the number of bytes for an HTML file for a site that might get a lot of high traffic, and that way I have to spend less on hosting. That's my theory. I think it's might be a little, yeah. Anyways, that's what I'm going with. All right, so then I'm going to use Vim plug because it's just easier. I know Vim 8 and NeoVim have built-in plugin systems, and I've used them, but it's easier on a lot of things. And sometimes with themes, when you don't do them through a plugin manager and you do them on Vim's built-in plugin manager, sometimes they have some issues. So, and again, I was on my color schemes this morning. So first plugin I installed was Awesome Vim Color Schemes. That gave me about 40 themes or something like that. Then I installed auto pairs. I always love auto pairs. That's when you type like a opening parentheses, it will close it for you. You can turn that off. There is a setting. I have to look at the plugin settings. So sometimes if you want to just toggle it off, you can. But I have to look at that. Then Rainbow. This has 320 plus themes. So in combination, I probably have close to 400 themes installed along with the default themes. Then here, Emmett. Emmett is pretty good for HTML. You can. I have a video on using macros and Emacs, and I probably will do that in Vim. You can write HTML pretty fast without Emmett, but the Emmett for Vim, it is nice for HTML, and it also works for CSS. So if I want to do background color for CSS, I'd type BGC and hit Control-Y comma, and it expands it into background color. If I want a border, I type BD, Control-Y comma, and it expands it into border. There's a lot of them: align items, AI, justify content, JC. So there's a lot of shortcuts you can use in CSS with Emmett, which makes it pretty nice. Then Vim JavaScript for some JavaScript highlighting. I could have done COC, but I really didn't want to deal with Node. I kind of want a lighter setup, so I just went with that plugin. And a lot of times when I'm developing, like if it's an HTML, CSS, and JavaScript site, I'll just use the Chrome developer tools. And it's going to let me know, hey, you have an error on such and such a line. I'm going to quickly go to that line and say, oh yeah, I forgot a semicolon. And I don't need to install Node just to get that. We have Vim Airline, which is the status bar down here. Now with the color theme I'm using, I don't have any of the airline themes installed. I may install that at a later point when I really get crazy about themes. But right now the normal one goes with this theme that I'm using currently pretty well. So I think I'm just going to leave it for now. Mu complete. Now that's a minimal auto completion in Vim, and so yeah, that just I start to type a word. Let me go down here. Let's go down to the bottom here, and let me type inno. Let's say if I start to type inno remap, it'll give me these suggestions as I hit tab, and I can then quickly autocomplete. It's nice, it's minimal, it doesn't require me to install Node. So yeah, I'm going to use that one. Then Vim commentary. If I want to comment out a block of code, I do GC, a comment out a line, GCC. That's very nice. And then Vim Markdown, Tim Pope's plugin for that. Again, I want a minimal Markdown plugin just for a little bit of syntax highlighting, that kind of stuff. So I installed that. And those are the plugins I'm using. Then I've used a lot of abbreviations here, but set number line or numbers, NU, and then relative numbers, RNU. Set term Gui Colors. I'm using Terminator right now. Set the background as dark. And then I was going through and I was going to use GitHub Contrast, which is a pretty cool theme. Let me show you that one. I like the pinks in that one. There was another one, Tame, which is kind of like a Nord theme. And then Colo Yellow Moon, which for some reason is blue. And then Colo Banner. So these were kind of cool themes that I saw. They're kind of nice. But right now I'm going with Zax. So let's just go back to Zax, which is kind of like maybe a little bit more contrast than Groovebox, maybe a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Set wild menu. So if I type, you'll see if I type Colo here, it brings up all these themes that I can go into, other stuff like that. When I'm auto-completing it, it shows me that menu. And then these next three lines are to switch. So when I go to insert mode, I go to a thin cursor. When I go to replace mode, it goes to an underline. And then normal mode is just the regular block. I kind of like that visual indication of switching between modes. This next line, set complete opt plus equals menu 1, that's required for move complete to work. And these next ones, in remap and no remap, or insert non-recursive mapping of control B. So if I do control B, I bring up netrw, and whether I'm in insert mode or normal mode, and I can go that way. Again, I've not been using, nerd tree is cool, but it's not really necessary, I don't think. And then I have Control T to open up a terminal. So I like opening up the terminal on top. Some people like it on the bottom. You can set split below and split right if you want to do that. Well, split below for the terminal, but split right if you're talking about vertical splits. Okay. So that's those. And then short mess equals I. So if I go out of Vim and then I go back into Vim here, I don't get the message when I open it up. Let's go back to my Vimrc here. Okay, and then let's go down. Okay, so remapping the leader key. So if I do leader CC, I'll get this color line here so I can keep my lines from being over 80 characters. Or if I have a really long line, I can know how many, be like, wow, it's way over here. That's pretty bad. And then just leave it anyways, because, then I can also do leader NCC to turn it off, because I don't like leaving it on the entire time. It's kind of a visual mess. Set scroll off equals 8. So you notice when I'm scrolling down, I'm kind of 8 lines above from the bottom. So when possible, it'll give me 8 lines from the bottom. If I go up, you'll see it's 8 lines from the top. So it kind of keeps the cursor a little bit more centered, which honestly for making YouTube videos is probably pretty good. Now, if I go down to the bottom here, it just goes down to the bottom because it can't do that. The last couple things I have are with Vim Airline, it gives me a lot of useful information, but sometimes I don't want to see it. So I can just do leader ls0, and that's set last status at 0. It takes it away. And then if I want it back, I do leader ls2, and it brings it back. Okay, so I have, I can toggle that on and off very easily with a key combination. And that's pretty much it for my current setup. If you have any suggestions on stuff that would make it even better, let me know in the comments. And I want to thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next one.